He dated the Queen's granddaughter for 10 years, traveled with her, slept in royal castles, even ran marathons by her side. Then, one day, it ended. No cheating, no scandal, just a quiet moment where he told her, "I don't want to marry you." So, who was he? And why would he walk away from a future inside the royal family? Because this wasn't just love. The Queen approved of him. The press adored them. But behind it all was one truth he never said out loud until the very end. But before he quietly said, "I don't want to marry you," he was everything Princess Beatrice wanted. And you should know who they are. Princess Beatrice was born royal, the eldest daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, niece of King Charles III, and ninth in line to the throne. But she never leaned fully into her royal title. Instead, she carved her path. Educated at Goldsmiths, University of London, she championed youth causes through her charity, Big Change, striving quietly for impact rather than spotlight. Then she met Dave Clark in 2006 thanks to Prince William's introduction at a birthday party. Dave wasn't noble by birth, but he carried a different kind of pedigree. Ambitious, charismatic, socially adept, he quickly rose in the business world, first at Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, later at Uber. He wasn't merely tolerated by Beatrice's family, he was warmly welcomed. Over the next decade, Beatrice and Dave weren't just seen as a couple, they became a presence. In royal and social circles, they were magnetic. From the elegance of Royal Ascot to the intensity of Wimbledon, from glittering charity galas to muddy marathon tracks, they showed up not just as attendees, but as a team. In 2010, they ran the London Marathon hand in hand, not just crossing the finish line together, but symbolizing everything they'd built, side by side. Dave didn't just orbit Beatrice's world, he became a part of her gravitational center. He was there at family dinners, holidays in Verbier, sunlit escapes to the Bahamas, laughing, belonging. The royal family, known for their guarded affections, embraced him. Sarah Ferguson, never one to hide her heart, beamed when she spoke of Dave. In a 2008 interview, she called him Mr. Smiley, adding, "I love Dave, he's cool. I'm really proud that he's with Beatrice." It wasn't just approval, it was affection. Even Prince Andrew, often reserved, opened the royal circle to Dave. A 2012 family trip to Spain marked more than a vacation, it was a quiet confirmation that Dave was one of them. Professionally, Dave was soaring, first at Virgin Galactic, then Uber, and Beatrice, ever supportive, didn't just cheer from the sidelines. She packed her life up more than once, first for San Francisco, then New York City, walking beside Dave as he chased bold ambitions. She enrolled in a finance course, took on a consultancy role, adapted, evolved. That's not just love, it's partnership. The media noticed, but for once, they got the story right. They called him modern, ambitious, a perfect match for Beatrice. But beneath the glossy headlines and posed photos was something quieter, stronger. Two people navigating the spotlight, the pressure, and the future, together. Everything was going great. But 10 years is a long time, and patience has its limits, even for a princess. By 2014, whispers were growing louder. Where was the ring? After nearly a decade together, royal insiders said Beatrice's family, especially Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew, were gently nudging toward a proposal. Even her friends were asking the unspoken question out loud. 10 years in, and still no engagement. The fairy tale, it seemed, was overdue for its next chapter. But behind the scenes, the dynamic had shifted. Dave's star was rising fast in the tech world. He wasn't stalling, just accelerating in a different direction. Uber's executive suite demanded his full attention, and New York City became the new center of gravity. Beatrice followed, perhaps out of love, perhaps to escape the suffocating weight of royal expectation. Still, a quiet distance grew. Some close to them claimed Dave bristled at being defined as Princess Beatrice's boyfriend. He wanted to be someone, not someone's. And then came the real fracture. Prince William, who had once helped bring them together, began to see Dave differently, reportedly calling him indiscreet and quietly cutting him out of key royal moments, including his 2011 wedding. The message was clear. Despite the calm exterior, no public drama, no explosive fallouts, the relationship had drifted into a no man's land. Between the crown and the career, someone had to compromise. Dave wouldn't. Hence, in early 2016, Princess Beatrice finally gave Dave an ultimatum. It was marriage or moving on. She'd waited a decade. She'd changed cities for him, left behind royal comforts, and adapted her life to match his ambitions. But despite her quiet sacrifices, the proposal she longed for never came. Even when the birth of Princess Charlotte meant she no longer needed the Queen's permission to marry, Dave remained silent. Friends sensed her exhaustion. "She'd waited long enough," they whispered. Beatrice refused to pressure him publicly, but privately, the uncertainty had become unbearable. This wasn't about royal expectations or palace politics. It was deeply personal. Soon, royal watchers noticed something unsettling. Beatrice and Dave hadn't been photographed together in months. Dave began appearing at events alone, fueling whispers that something behind the scenes had fractured. Rumors intensified, yet officially there was silence. No public fights, no explosive headlines, just the quiet fading of a love everyone once believed in. Beatrice had shown unwavering commitment, following Dave to San Francisco and then New York, enrolling in courses and aligning her future with his. Yet, even then, nothing changed. After 10 years, she needed clarity. Finally, in a private, painful moment, she gave him the choice: commit or let her go. He responded in the loudest way possible. He gave her nothing. Therefore, after nearly a decade together, Princess Beatrice and Dave Clark ended their relationship in 2016. The split was reportedly amicable, with both parties agreeing to take time apart to reflect on their future. A friend stated, "It is very much a break. It is amicable and mutual. They both need space after 10 years to see what they both want." Friends confirmed Beatrice ended it. The reason? No ring, no progress, too long in limbo. After 10 years, she chose clarity over continuation. What shocked many wasn't the split. But what came next? Within a year, Dave began dating Lynn Anderson, a glamorous businesswoman. In 2018, he proposed and married her the same year. For Beatrice, the timing was difficult. She had just ended a decade-long relationship, only to watch her ex marry someone else within 2 years. Royal insiders said she was deeply hurt, but kept her silence. She didn't attend Dave's wedding, but did attend the wedding of one of his close friends shortly after. It was hard for everyone, because after 10 years of royal patience, followed by silence, then a ring for someone else. Throughout their relationship, there was considerable media speculation about when the couple would get engaged. Reports suggested that Beatrice was eager to settle down, especially after she moved to New York to be with Dave during his tenure at Uber. However, when no proposal materialized and the couple eventually split in 2016, the media highlighted the unexpected nature of the breakup. Sources close to the couple described the separation as amicable, stating they needed space after 10 years together. The media suddenly shifted focus to Beatrice. Why didn't he propose? Some headlines painted her as unlucky in love, unfairly. Others subtly criticized Dave. Why date a princess for 10 years with no intention of marrying her? The public didn't know what to make of the split. There was no scandal. Beatrice made more solo appearances post-breakup. She leaned into philanthropy, education initiatives, and startup advisory roles. She never addressed the breakup, staying silent publicly, consistent with her royal training. Friends say this was her reset phase, rediscovering her own identity. But just as everyone thought the story was over, Beatrice began writing a new chapter without saying a word. In late 2018, she started dating Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, a wealthy British property developer and Italian aristocrat. Unlike Dave, Edo was already a father and seemed ready for commitment from the start. The relationship moved quickly, and they got engaged in 2019. They got married in a secret Windsor ceremony in July 2020. Just the Queen, Prince Philip, and close family attended. She was left behind, but she never looked back. In September 2021, Beatrice gave birth to her first child, Sienna Elizabeth Mapelli Mozzi. By then, she was settled, glowing, and far from the heartbreak that once made headlines. 10 years, no scandal, no statement, no drama, just two people who quietly drifted apart. One moved on fast, the other moved forward with grace. Princess Beatrice didn't get a fairy tale ending with Dave Clark, but she wrote her own anyway. And sometimes, the most powerful royal decisions are the ones made in silence.